I found this old clock in a secondhand store and it was 30 krona, that is around $5. And I just had to have it. It looks like it had been working at some point, and it will fit perfect to my big girl. So I'm going to unwrap it here together with you. Let's take this out. So it looks like it is, I'm not sure if it's plastic or wood. I think it's wood, but this is definitely a plastic bag on it. Let's get this out and see what's inside. No, it's all plastic, and yes, it has been working. I'm not sure that this will be possible to fix, but it could be so cool to get that to work. The spring is definitely sprung. Looks like there had been some kind of key for it to get it to work. Well, I'm going to try to get this to look really good, so I'm going to peel off all the stickers and I'm going to paint it, I think. I cleaned up the parts as good as I could, and this little watch thing is really pretty. I had to clean it very carefully as the cleaning thing I use for this metal would take the numbers off here if I just went all over. So I was really careful with this, but I like the result. And I got the white parts whiter, but they're damaged from the stickers and from age. So I'm going to paint that, and it's all plastic. And the clock mechanism, I had to trash that. That was all sprung all over, so that's not gonna work. I'm going to take some white acrylic paint. Yep. And I'm going to take some water and mix in so it's not as thick. And then I'm going to take this sponge pencil and just going to dab it here. And I might have to do this a few times. So I'm just going to do this off camera, and I will be back when I'm all done. I painted this white twice, and I kind of dabbed it on, so it now have, I'm not sure you can see that on camera, but it has a very nice texture right now. So I did that, and around the clock opening here, or the pendul's opening, I painted it also. And I noticed this on both sides on the top of it, and it looks like someone broke something off on both sides. So I'm going to take my sandpaper and I'm going to sand it down so it's gonna be gone. I'm going to make a pendant, and for that I have a piece of 1mm hard wire, and I'm going to bring that in right here. I hope you can see that right here. So, and I don't want to use hot glue in this one, and I'm going to squeeze it down here in shape so I have the right shape for it. And I'm going to push the pin in there and then carefully remove this. I decided that I don't want the pendant to be too close on the plastic of the main cabinet, so I'm going to make a pearl here that fits onto this pin, 1mm pin. There we go. And down into the big and bound. So I'm pretty sure it's quite secure now. And I'm going to bake this. I'm going to make the pendant for the clock, and it's going to sit on this that we just made. For that I rolled out some gold clay in setting 3, and I have this hole cutter that I'm going to use, and I'm cutting out 2 circles. There we go. Then I have my bacon bond, and I have an eye pin that I'm going to put here in between the 2 layers. And with some of my bacon bond I'm going to connect these 2 circles. I'm taking this one and placing it here on top. And I'm going to shape this so that they're thick on the middle and thin in the edge on the edge. And when I like it, I am going to bake this part. So this has been baked and is now all hard, and we need the part for it to stick here. Oh, sorry about that. I'm just going to make a tiny bend here on this pin. Then I have this eye pin, and I'm going to make a tiny bend for the clay to hang on to. So I'm going to see here, I want it to be around what? Yeah, around like that in the length. Good. So I'm going to take the same clay as before and stick out 2 in this thickness. That's for this top part here. So I'm just, going to move this a bit, put this around, place this one, and I'm just going to make a spot for the hole for this pin, taking some of my bacon bond. So this will be placed really good together so that the eye pin is getting stuck in here. That will straighten it up. And I'm just using a tiny needle pin to make the hole. I don't want the hole as big as the wire that it has to go on, because I want it to sit really tight on there. So I'm just making the hole, and then later I'm going to force it over the pin. I baked this part, so now I'm going to make this part for in between, and I'm deciding for the length. It's around here, so I'm just going to cut that off. So I'm going to take one of these pieces, and I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to place bacon bond on it. To make sure it will stick where I want it, and I'm going to put a tiny bit here around the pin as well, so it sticks to the top of this. Placing it and doing the same with this part. And I'm doing it here too, like that. And placing this part. Then I'm taking this little one and placing it over, if I can do so. There we go. and I am pushing this down. And I'm going to cut this off, this excess here. There we go. And now I'm just going to mold it so I'll like it here around the middle parts. This way these connection will be tucked away also, and it will be connected and it won't be able to slide off or something. This little pendle thing is all done for my clock, and this has all dried, and I want these two parts to have the same gold color, and I am going to use my gold ink for that. And I'm actually also going to paint this piece where the arms for the clocks are going to sit. So I'm going to do that. This way it looks nice and fresh and all brand new. So that part is gold now. And you only need to paint the good side on this, because you won't see the other one when it's hanging inside the clock. But it's all up to you. And then these 4 pieces are going to be painted as well. I'm not going to show you that because that just takes a lot of time and you already know how to paint. So I'm just going to paint these 4 gold edges, and then I will be back. The parts have been painted in the gold color, and this is looking really good. I used a bit of Conad nail art stencils on here just to make a little. You can do it just as you want to. I just did a bit. And now I just need to put this together. So first I'm going to put on the mechanism here. Let's see how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put a tiny bit of my fast glue here and put that on, and I'm going to try to get it placed right. So I glued this part in there, and now I'm taking this one and I'm putting the good side down, and I'm going to be placing it here on this pin like that. So now it looks something like this on the front. And I have this so I can move it. So that's nice. And I'm going to take the back side and place that. And it pops right in, what is nice too. So now I need to glue this one in place, and I'm going to take again my I wanted to take my fast glue here, but I'm actually thinking of using my E6000 for that instead, because I know that will glue it on with no problems. So I think that's all there is in this one. Something like that. And then I'm going to place it here on my clock. And it was sitting all the way down on this edge before, but I like to have this little white part in between. So I'm just going to pull it up that little So it's all dry, and all I have left is putting on these arms again on the clock. I baked a little part and glued it on the tiny arm of these, and I glued it on the back side of it. And then I'm just taking it and carefully squeezing it over this thing. So now it's able to show the clock. And then I'm going to take the long arm and carefully going to push that down also.